Peace, and y'all bless, my people. First and foremost, let's give praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yah, who is the head of our lives. You know, Yah is our Savior, Yah is our righteousness, and Yah is our King. And besides Yah, there is no other. There is no other Savior. Look at Isaiah 45 and many more scriptures and chapters that explain why the only Savior that we have is Yah. My name is Yahoshua Ben Yisrael, and I'm coming to you today on behalf of the Zion movement. Shabbat Shalom on this 16th day of the 8th month, or the 8th moon. By the Gregorian calendar, we're looking at, what's today, November 6, 2021. Just looking at what's going on today, we're going through some trying times right now. You know, here in America, in the furnace of affliction, the daughter of Babylon, it's getting worse day by day. You know, we can't ignore this no more. You know, we are actually in full-out war. They are attacking us. Even if you recognize it, you don't recognize it, they're trying to kill us. They've been killing us since we've been here. So the fact of the matter, my people, is that we're at war. We're being afflicted. We're being taken out at every angle, economically, socially, spiritually, through the foods, through birth, through abortions, through every angle that they're trying to get at us. They're trying to take us out. They know who we are, and they know how special of a people we are upon this earth. And they don't want to see us rise, because when we rise, they demise. So we can no longer sit back and just be on defense. It's time for us to take steps to building a righteous kingdom upon this earth with our head and our king, the king of all creation, Yah of hosts. So we have to look at the scriptures and look at what Yah commanded us to do during these times. He knew we would be here. He brought us here. And he knew what was going to happen in these days. The judgment upon America is real, and we can't do nothing about it. No one's cracking the skies. No one's coming here to get us. It's either we be a sitting duck or we do something about it. If we don't do nothing about it, then nothing will happen. There's no man or no deity or anything that's coming to crack the skies and save us. We have to make the move so that Yah will be our guiding force back to establishing righteousness upon the earth and bring us back into the promised land that he promised our forefathers. So if you want to look at how Yah commanded us to flee, just look at the scriptures. Look at Isaiah 48, verse 20, Isaiah 52, verse 11, Jeremiah 50, 8 and 9, Jeremiah 50, 16 and 28, Jeremiah 51, 6 and 44 and 45, and Zechariah 2, 6 and 7. It talks about how we should flee. We should not be no sitting ducks here in the daughter of Babylon. Just yesterday, I seen a video talking about how they're enforcing 5 to 11-year-olds to get the vaccination. That should be a warning. That should be something to set off and trigger something inside of you to make a change and to make something happen. Zion, we got to deliver ourselves. We got to move from out of this daughter of Babylon. I'm not going to be in here all day. I just want to be real brief just to bring forth what's going on. So when you look at the history of how our people left and tried to reestablish ourselves, just in the near future that we're living in right now, in the future, not in ancient days, but in our days and times. The first movement that actually left up out of here was in 67 with Ben Ami. well, there was other brothers that led it, but the movement that's in Dimona under Ben Ami, who left Chicago in '67 and established itself in Dimona, Israel. They left from out of America, flew back to Liberia, and then from Liberia established themselves in Dimona, Israel. They made a move. Something had to happen. That's what they did. Second movement was Beta Israel with the Falashas, the so-called Ethiopian Jews, as they call themselves. They went through the Sudan because of a great famine that was in the land in 1984. And through Operation Moses, the IDF and the CIA came and picked them up, flew them back into the land of Israel. That's the second movement. And also in '91, they did the same thing called through Operation Solomon. More Falashas came back into the land of Israel, which is our promised land. Now, the third movement, and these movements is in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, where it talks about Sodom and her daughters. The Zion movement, which is the third movement, that will establish Yah's kingdom upon this earth, will be a comfort to her sisters. Her sisters being the Dimona movement, which is the inhabitants of Judah, and the Falashas, the so-called Ethiopian Jews who are descendants of Israel. Those are the northern tribes. When you look at those two movements that just recently happened, you got to put them in perspective with prophecy. They actually moved. They actually did something and left up out of their state, their country, and went to reestablish Yah's kingdom upon this earth. So this last movement that we're in right now is the last movement, which is called the Zion movement, and we will establish ourselves back in the land of Israel. Now, the thing is that when you read the book of Ezekiel chapter 20, Yah will bring us through the wilderness before he brings us back unto his holy Mount Zion in Jerusalem. And with that being said, he's going to put us under, or try us under the rod, so that we can correct all the things that we have been inflicted with in this daughter of Babylon. All the things that, all the ways, all of our iniquities, all the things that took us away from Yah, he's going to purge out. He's going to purge out the rebels and the transgressors as well. Those that are against Yah and against establishing a community and establishing his way upon this earth. So, my people, the time is now. The time is now for the inhabitants of Zion to rise up and flee from the midst of Babylon. You see other people here and there leaving America, going back to the continent of Africa, someplace in Africa to establish a community or a peace of mind, just to have a peace of mind out of this daughter of a Babylon called America. It's happening day by day. People are leaving. But Yah's kingdom will be established and he will bring us forth into Mount Zion when he brings us through the wilderness. So this right here, I speak on behalf of those that have it in their hearts to leave, that desire to leave and establish Yah's kingdom upon this earth. Yah's kingdom will not be established here in America. We have to actually leave and go back to the land of our forefathers. Our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, was given a covenant by Yah that he will bring us forth from our captivity, because this was already prophesied that it was going to happen, that we was going to be sent to the four corners of the earth. So with that being said, we have to return back to the land. We have to go back and establish Yah's kingdom in the land. This ain't happening in America. Now, I know we have different doctrines and different beliefs, you know what I mean? But we have to come on one accord. And that's not happening here in America. We have too much going on between us talking about this and that, looking at laws and how we look at laws and looking at things. Our missing key is building a community, working together That's the one thing that our people lack, is the ability to work together. If we work together, things will be a lot easier. Instead, we're here in America and we're all individuals. We only think of ourselves. We don't think of our brothers and sisters that's struggling. Imagine if we joined together and establish a kingdom, a nation of people that work together to live, to survive, to provide for our basic needs. That's what we need to do. Every other nation does this but us. We have to get away from that mindset, and we have to join together and build Yah's kingdom upon this earth. And the way to do that is we have to build our community. We have to come together, and as Yah commanded us, we have to work as one, on one accord, so that he can establish us upon this earth. So with that being said, me and my brothers, we are developing a plan of action to leave America. So if you are serious about leaving America, inbox me or inbox my brother Dawid, because we are focused on establishing ourselves outside of America so that we could build a community and establish a nation here upon this earth. So with that being said, if there's any questions you may have about exiting America, inbox me. But coming soon, we have to leave. There will be a major exodus upon this earth, with Zion leaving and going through the wilderness so that we can be corrected by the Most High Yah before he brings us back into his holy Mount Zion. With that being said, my people, we are the Zion movement, and we are here to establish Zion upon holy Mount Zion and to build Yah's third and last temple. So, with that being said, peace and Yah bless. We are the Zion movement.